It's been a rough time doing this theme so far, looking at these spin-offs, but Shaolin Monks has been my ace in the hole so far, so haven't played it since the PS2 days, but I remember liking it quite a bit. So yeah, this one I'm actually really excited to play it again, but please don't let me down. One of these has to be a hit. So this is Combat Overview. We go over the general controls, their main mechanics, who or what we use them on, and seeing how it all comes together. So Shaolin Monks is a 3D beat 'em up where you get to play as Lookin or Kung Lao. But anyways, you run around this in single player or in co-op, going to key locations, beating up familiar faces while having a bit of classic action game progression tossed in there. So yeah, let's check it out. So on square we have this light attack doing a quick jab. There's a 3-hit combo that leaves you in a bit of head lag. Triangle is our launcher, and pressing it twice will do an extra follow-up, sending them even higher. No unique enders, so whenever you chain into it, it's always going to get that launcher. But it'll combo from lights with ease, so best way to avoid that and lag. Now launchers even OTG, tossing them back up, while lights would just whiff right over them. So a great way to keep the pace going to continue your combos by going to air juggles using any one of those options you got, which we'll get into in a second. Circle is this powerful attack. It's slow, but will send a single enemy flying, so a little crowd control option to create some room. Some characters have a charge version too. R2 is a throw. I wouldn't say it's a grab since it instantly tosses them in the direction you aim with the left thumbstick. But yeah, it does crowd control, it combos some lights. And it's a great way to send them into stage hazards for some easy kills. And you want to know what else? It also OTGs. How about that? Now onto our aerial options, which yeah, I don't mention this in most games because there's usually nothing really to go over, but oh, is there stuff here. So we jump with X. Kung Lao has this dive kick to bounce off enemies, which you can chain these. Reminds me of Shinobi 3, honestly. Triangle will of course do a mid-air launcher to reset your air combo, extending it for a bit longer. In Circle will do a ground slam to knock him down, quickly ending your stream. You can even jump cancel attacks pretty much at any point in your grounded combo, letting you do something like a light attack into a launcher, cancel with the jump, then go for an air grab. Yeah, we have air grabs. Yeah, this game is pretty damn fun already. So we're not done yet, so there's running attacks too. Just hold forward long enough and it'll become a run. And there's quite a few options. You got a slide kick with your light, a run up launcher, and a powerful slam. So yeah, it's just the same as they were before, but a version to close the gap with pretty much. And wait, doesn't this slide jump loop look kinda familiar? Okay, so we get a bit of classic beat 'em up thing going on here too, with melee weapons to pick up. They follow the same rules: lights for quick damage, heavies no distinct enders but it does OTG, and circle for powerful attack. They run on durability, so they will break after some use. And also, going for a throw while holding R1 will have you jump on them, can control them for a bit, just pummel away on them, jump away from them, launch them. Yeah, never expected this to be a thing, but this game just has way more going on than I thought. See, this is why I make these videos, because who else, right? Onto defenses, we got Ukemi to break your fall. Just press X before touching the ground and there you go. Keeps the pace going. Holding L2 with block lets you strafe around while always facing somebody. And will auto block their attacks, but it does do chip damage to your health and will use some of your energy meter. So you can't over rely on it because you'll be guard broken, lose a lot of resources, and lose a bit of health for it too. So yeah, actual give and take here. You can do dodges while guarding, but I never use this, not even once throughout the game. We just have so many options as it is, that's better than just standing still to guard and then do some flips, when you can just do crazy combos and pressures on them instead. Looking at the HUD, green is our health, this blue meter is our energy, which is used by guarding, movement abilities, and by specials. It doesn't refill by attacking or anything like that, it'll just do it on its own and it's pretty quick too. To use those specials, hold R1 and press any of the face buttons. We'll toss these out at the cost of blue meter and can easily be comboed into. And just like the game established earlier with those base attacks, our specials on triangle will launch floored enemies while others will just fly right over them. And the special on circle is this knockdown crowd control move, and square has them do a unique attack to them. Kung Lao teleports and Liu Kang does fireballs. And those movement abilities you unlock to progress through the game can actually be used in combat too. Why is this game so good? Yeah, and this red circle to the left is the fatality meter. This fills up by landing attacks and just by staying in the action. Pressing L1 will stun an enemy and lets you do a fatality on him. Punch in a sequence and yep, you gotta remember it yourself just like the actual game, and this will instant kill him. We have a few of them to find, but once you figure it out, it'll be saved onto your move list. And again, just like the fighting game, you'll tell everyone to hold up. Let me check my moves real quick. And now that we fight multiple enemies at once, there's something called a mortality. And guess what this does? You'll do a room clearing instant kill at the cost of more meter. And doing a fatality or mortality is a great way to get some kills off enemies too. Guess you can call it some kind of glory kill system going on here too, so yeah. There's more because we have a brutality here too. This puts you in this powered up state for a limited time just to go crazy on them. Didn't use this too much, but hey, more options for the players. When it comes to enemies, there's spearmen who got a block to have them repel, opening them up. But they'll do the same and go into this counter stance to stop your mashing. Tarakas, who are pretty quick, they'll shred you up close, but once you decide to run away, they'll check you with their projectiles, stopping your combos on other enemies or to stop your approach. They even do tag team combos with each other, so the same thing you can do with your partner in co-op. And blocking their attacks won't have them repel like the other guys, so kinda guess it's a unique thing to just those spear guys. The spirits who like to teleport away, shooting lightning bolts at you from far, but once you're close, they'll command grab you. And they also can't be grabbed themselves, but they can be launched though. Statues who will stomp the ground once you're far enough, and will block your attacks up close. But with that powerful punch on circle, we can destroy that shield, giving us the opening. So yeah, enemies have answers for you, which makes you approach each one differently enough, which is pretty good. There's even infighting between different enemy types, which isn't something you see much in any game, truly. Yeah, the amount of stuff in this game is getting kind of nuts. For bosses, surprisingly, you can actually use your full moveset the game gives you. You can air juggle them, do air throws, OTGs, use environment, all that. They will even fight back too and use combo breakers to get you off of them. And not only do you see them pull off their famous moves, but they get unique phases too that other bosses won't have. Like doing a little 1v2, but you have traps lying around to have crowd control, that sort of thing. There's even hidden bosses to fight too when backtracking to past areas with more movement abilities. And once you beat them, you end the fight with a fatality. Now if you lose, then they'll do unique fatality on you. It's only fair. See, these little things is what makes this game pretty damn good. And that's Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. This is the best Mortal Kombat game ever made. Mainline or spin-off, it doesn't matter. There's multiple ways to use your character. You can use the environment, consistent tools to interact with enemies. There's even duo tag team attacks when playing co-op. And the game is compact experience, running about 3.5 hours long, so it's easy to hop back in for another playthrough. And oh yeah, you unlock Sub-Zero and Scorpion as extra playable characters on top of that. And yeah, who doesn't want to play them for some co-op fun with the boys? And yep, let's just add Scorpion to the list of action games with the leash grab. Yeah, this game just has it all. It's kind of awesome. And honestly, once you beat the game, just pick someone else and go crazy, learn the loops, OTGs, and air combos. And the crazy part that really makes this a good game, I'm able to do these fun and decently layered combos right at the beginning, with just the pure basics. Because the move list you start off with covers it all. Before I even upgrade my skills or get combo routes, I can go ahead and make some cool looking plays right out the gate. And I really like how they use Mortal Kombat stages. This is for this 3D beat 'em up, and they'll make little counters based around these environmental hazards. Plus the game lets you know it can be done by showing you, and it's up to you to influence the enemies in a specific way to get it done. Again, this can make it come back even more nowadays since recent Mortal Kombats and Injustice games added on-screen interactables that can be brought back over easily. Speaking of interactables, now combat is broken up with some classic platformer setups, so there's some variety here, and you get to a point in the game where you get a hub and will need movement abilities to progress through it. So there's a bit of Metroid tossed in here too. And yeah, going back to past areas is possible, and can find some upgrades, or hidden bosses. So with the fun factor of using its solid base mechanics, their co-op shenanigans waiting to happen, and how well they brought over MK's staples over into the 3D beat 'em up to give some hype moments for fans to see in a new light, yeah, it's a must play. Plus the hidden bosses, the extra characters, a versus mode, arcade version of MK2, and I didn't find it till later, but there's a hidden survival mode. There's just so much content here on disc, something rare these days at times. So just a lot here for MK fans to enjoy. Get to fight all these bosses and see their classic stages fleshed out into a whole area that's explorable and has rooms built around that stage's environmental hazard. And for action beat 'em up fans, there's quite a bit to appreciate too with the gameplay. The OTGs, launchers, combos, grounded or air, and just ways to interact with enemies and mess them up however you want. And with its interconnected map set up using a tiny bit of lock and key puzzles, plus some platforming tossed in our action game, I wouldn't blame you if it's kinda looking like classic DMC and Ninja Gaiden. Kinda gets there, right? But the movement options we end up getting, kinda interesting, you know. Definitely seems like they're looking at the right places when making this game. You know, after finishing it after all these years, it bums me out that this is where it ended. Which here already is so fun and holds up, without a doubt. But imagine if they brought it back. I'd hope they'll know why its gameplay works so well way back when, but maybe just start with 2 characters, and with the age of live service post-launch updates being the norm, maybe add more playable characters alongside DLC character drops. Have this ever-growing roster for this beat 'em up for some co-op fun. Instead of having to fight your friends, you get to play alongside each other. Asking for a lot, pretty much having to make 2 separate games, but keep the levels in this mode short and compact, keep the scope small with just themed battle arenas, and take out the platforming and puzzle bits and just focus on the combat. But have enough varied enemies to take on in different ways. Yeah, main draw will be using the new characters to see what moves they have, unlock some specials, level them up, do some 1cc runs, have higher difficulties to masters, the tried and true classic beat 'em up formula. Really sucks this never got a sequel of some kind or added this as some single player companion mode like Tekken Force. Yeah, you know what? Just make more 3D beat 'em up modes for every fighter. Bring back Tekken Force in 8, bring back this for MK12, bring back the Legends without the wacko controls in the next Soul Calibur. The ideas are really great on paper and can be fun. It's just the execution for most games aren't the best. Shaolin Monks nailed it though. I haven't played Street Fighter 6 World Tour just yet, but its gameplay focuses around the 1v1 setup to actually help teach you in-game how it'll work everywhere else. But this is just a me thing, but I'd prefer 3D beat 'em ups approach for single player. That will use a lot of the concepts we just repurposed for this companion mode gameplay. Yeah, it doesn't help people learn the game or get some of them to convert to play online against real people, but imagine just having Shaolin Monks again in MK12. Or getting this collectathon of characters in Soul Calibur, getting to use counters and sidesteps, right? I feel like these beat 'em up modes are more approachable. Again, it's just me. I really do like fighting games, but I do miss having more of these 3D beat 'em ups. I just want them to be good. Speaking of wanting them to be good, I'm about to play Final Fight Streetwise next. This one I've held off till the end because I was trying to avoid it, to be real. Little did I know I had way more worse in store at the start, but yeah. Since I know this one is a for sure meh game, I'll try my best to get through it, but if a Streetwise video doesn't come out next week, well, you know what happened.